Welcome to the Howl, where we get to go in depth with students, hear their stories, and you get a front row seat to learn about our community. I'm your host, Jacob Gerton, the Associate Director of Admissions here at Rectory. Today, we're going to sit down with two 9th grade students, Zoe and Karla, to talk about the relationships they have formed during their time here at Rectory. Without further ado, let's howl! All right, welcome to today's show. This is the first episode of The Howl. We have Karla and Zoe here with us today, so I'm very excited to jump into a conversation with them. How's the Baker's Dozen in the morning doing, girls?
Great.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that and let everyone know what Baker's Dozen is for all those around here. But I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. This whole theme for today's episode is about relationships. Each of you has had a kind of unique story and has both been here for enough time and has formed a really cool relationship that I want to be able to talk about, and not just your relationship, but also relationships between peers and faculty and things like that. So to start off, whoever wants to take the reins first, can you tell me a little bit about what life was like before Rectory?
Okay, so before Rectory, I would definitely say life was a lot more like over the place. I had a very different lifestyle. I'm from Puerto Rico, so life there is very different. How people carry their lives as like a 14-year-old, definitely like a lot less structure and stuff. But coming to Rectory, it showed me how to go through a schedule and prepared me for life, kind of.
And what led you to Rectory? How did you find Rectory through
I found Rectory through basketball, and my coach connected me to the idea of the boarding school, and Rectory was one of my top decisions, and I applied and got it.
And do you remember your first impression of Rectory?
Yeah, totally. So schools in Puerto Rico are I would say really small, nothing like this at all with technology and everything. So coming to Rectory, I was super surprised when I looked around campus. I was this is so big, so beautiful. So first thoughts about Rectory was how big it was and how many how advanced it was, kind of.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Zoe, how about you? What was life like for you before Rectory?
Before coming to Rectory, I live in Massachusetts, so I went to a public school before this, but it was really different. I feel like here at Rectory, the deep relationships you build just is so different from public school. The faculty around you, they care more about you and all that stuff. But coming to Rectory, I came in 6th grade, so it was really different from the faces around campus to the routine. But coming to Rectory, it was a great experience, and I'm glad to be here.
And what were some of the reasons that led you here or led you to boarding school being from Mass? Not too far away, but what were some of those deciding factors?
Probably because it was COVID year, so I wasn't really liking online school. So boarding school seemed like the right fit. Awesome.
All right, great. So now let's jump into your growth at Rectory. So I'm going to start with you, Zoe, since you have the mic. You came here in 6th grade. What was that first year like?
First year was really tough. I was across the street. I was in one of the across the street dorms. So every morning you would have
Not as nice as Centennial Hall that was just built, huh?
Yeah. I was in one of those, and it was really different. It was a smaller dorm, about 7 girls. But I would say going more into the school year, it definitely got easier. I mean, obviously you're going to face obstacles, but I think that definitely after as soon as I got to winter, spring term in my 6th grade year, I was fitting in, getting used to the routine, and it was really good.
Do you remember any one significant that played a role in that first year of you adjusting?
One person?
Yeah.
Probably my dorm parent, Miss Dion. She doesn't work here anymore, but her definitely. She helped a lot with everything I was going through and helped guide me.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, let's pass it off to Karla, and why don't you talk about your first year at Rectory? I think I interviewed both of you to come to Rectory, and I remember interviewing you, and we everything made so much sense. You came here a little bit earlier than you expected, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. I think I was the one who was like, we need Karla at Rectory. She's got to come here. So what was that first year like for you? Because you did like a half year. I think you came in January.
Yes, I did. So I came during midterm, during 7th grade. I'm a 9th grader now. And when I came to Rectory, it was totally like spontaneous decision. Like I would definitely say like I've grown over time with like my English, like, and me as a person, like as a whole. And like coming mid 7th grade as like a midterm was like how Zoe said, like there's always like challenges and stuff. But like I feel like I overcome it really well. Like also like faculties here are really nice. Like the students were like friendly and they were able to like guide me through it and everything. So like I would feel like the toughest part was like adjusting to the schedule and everything. But once I got the hang of it, like everything was like great.
Yeah. And I guess this is for kind of both of you, so whoever wants to take it can take it. But how do you compare like how your relationships and how you've matured over time from being here from 6th grade to being here from 7th grade? You know, both of you are 2.5+ years, so it's been enough time where there's probably been some change. You probably aren't the same person you were in 6th and 7th grade, right? So talk to me about that evolution over time at Rectory.
So I would say me in 6th grade, not even gonna lie, I was always in detention. So me in 6th grade is very different. I think I haven't had a detention since 7th grade. So
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm really different. I think I just matured and like grown up, which is bound to happen. So yeah.
And you know, being away from home, that's really hard. You're like, what did you cling to, or what do you think was one of the major factors in helping you with that growth?
Honestly, I would say probably the people around you. They definitely come into play. Like you wanting to be better. Like if you're near someone who's striving for greatness, you're gonna strive for greatness because that's just how it happens.
Yeah, that's well said. How about you, Karla?
So for me, I feel like I matured a lot too. Like everything from like the way I talk to the way I act. Like when I came to Rectory, I was definitely more like less mature. And like how Zoe said, like the people around me definitely like had a big role in that. And also like all the challenges Rectory puts to you, like it helps you grow as a person. So like everything to like the schedule to like having less tech time, like all of those are like more challenges. So you could like socialize more and like even with like sports, try new things. So that definitely played a role.
And you know, do each of you have like can think of like one thing that's you know, one moment looking back that you recall that really meant a lot to you, whether it was a Miss Dion helping you with your bags on the first day, or whether it was a teacher having a conversation with you about a certain subject during enrichment or something like that, or an advisor. Can you each think of maybe one moment that stands out to you in the last 3 years? I know that's hard to choose from, so.
One moment I have is definitely MELP. MELP is May Experiential Learning Program. Basically, like about 12 or so students get to go on a trip to a different state. Puerto Rico is actually also one of the places you can go. And last year I went to Philly. My group was great. The faculty on my group, amazing. So I would say definitely MELP, like the whole experience in the mornings. Basically our trip was like in the morning we would go and help a school, and then in the evening we would just do a bunch of fun activities. So I think that the people definitely all contributed in their own ways to make the like experience great.
Yeah, MELP was pretty awesome. We'll definitely get to an episode in MELP and maybe pull a few students and ask about their experience there. But how about you, Karla? Can you think of some fond memories that had a positive impact on you?
Right now, I'm going to pull like a recent one. And right now, living in Centennial, like obviously the dorm's great and everything. And how it's divided is like 8th graders in the bottom floor and 9th graders in upper. And like our dorm life is like super good. We're all like friends with each other, which makes it so great. And like we also have like this card game going on, and like we always compete.
I'm winning.
What is this card game? Is it a regular card game?
It's FaceTime.
Were you not seeing
Oh,
my team? You
FaceTime.
remember?
Okay,
Yeah.
I know FaceTime. Yeah, I love FaceTime. That's awesome. And so the part where this gets interesting for the people listening is that you two this year are roommates, correct?
Yeah.
Who doesn't make their bed in the morning?
Me.
So Zoe does?
Zoe depends
Good
on
for you, Zoe. Good for you. Mr. Ames would be very happy. So talk to me about, because you guys had formed a relationship before this, right? Some from last year. And then this year when you came on campus and found out that you'd be roommates together, were you like, oh my gosh, I can't get away from this girl? Or were you like, let's go?
Honestly, I was like, let's go. But we also have every class together. But for the most part, it's great. It's good having someone that like you know already, that you're friends with, on dorm with you, so you guys can like talk about anything. It's just a great experience, and the dorm's brand new, and like everything's so nice, and we can color coordinate our room as well.
Very nice, very nice. And how is it living with Zoe?
Oh, honestly, it's great. Like, it has its ups and downs, but no, but actually, it's so great. How we said, like, we were friends prior of this, and like when I first saw like the message, my first like initial reaction was like who would do this? Because like every night, the late night,
We're not gonna sleep. We're gonna be talking all.
Yeah. That was my first thought. But like honestly, it's great. Late night talks are like so fun. Honestly, top conversations.
Wow.
And yeah, our room is so pretty. Like, it's so good.
And in what ways do you think Zoe has put an impression on you and changed you?
Zoe? Okay, so Zoe's a really confident person. So I feel like that's like the biggest impression on me. She's like really confident and like inspires others to like be confident as well. Also, like her personality, her humor is also like something really fun to like be with and like be around. So honestly,
That's great. And how about you for Karla, Zoe? How has Karla made a positive impression on you?
Karla's positive impression on me was probably wanting to be better at basketball. Like, Karla's really good at basketball, and she's always talking about basketball every 10 seconds. So, like, she's always like, oh, come with me to the gym, all this. So it just, honestly, as I kind of said earlier, like, people wanting to be better around you makes you want to be better. So, yeah.
Is basketball something that you would have done, do you think, if it had not been for her? Like, is that something you think you might have pursued?
Like, not really, honestly. I mean, I have to play basketball because 3 sports at Rectory. I mean, I could switch, but basketball is definitely best winter sport.
And we'll definitely have to include some clips of you guys playing basketball together because it's gonna be a fun year. We know it's gonna be fun. So you two are great on the court together. So now it's your 9th grade year. Okay, so kind of wrapping up the Rectory experience, which is kind of crazy. But do you want to talk about what the 9th grade year, how it's different, what you like about it, maybe what you don't like about it?
Yeah, so as a 9th grader at Rectory, honestly, I love the pros, like Vanilla Bean on the weekends, also like the leadership things that we have. I feel like one of the hardest part is like understanding that like people are going to look up to you now and like you are that example, and that like at first was like kind of hard to understand because it's like I'm just a year older than you, But like now I gotten used to it, and I also like love like being more like on hand on campus, so like having more leadership positions and everything. So that's something I really like. And also like there's also like the pros, like Vanilla Bean, like I said, is one of my favorites. Going to Vanilla Bean with my friends. And yeah, overall, honestly love being a 9th grader.
How about you, Zoe?
Being a 9th grader actually is a great experience. I'm rarely here on the weekends, so I don't really get to experience Vanilla Bean on the weekends. But the weekend I have been here, it's been great. Me and Karla hit up Vanilla Bean. We got 2 cinnamon rolls, I remember fondly. So that's definitely a pro. 9th grade privileges, like after sports, you can stay out longer. Don't have to go back to dorm right away. That's great. A con though, I can't even name one. It's so good. Would probably be like tech time not being that different from 8th grade. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
So that's really it though.
So Vanilla Bean, common theme, and we also have Baker's Dozen, which I lured you here this morning with. So that's not necessarily 9th grade privilege, but for those of you who don't know, Baker's Dozen is how adults, get kids to come here early and do this podcast with them. It's how we reward kids for doing their math problem of the week. Challenge kids by getting to, overcome something with a, nice little reward. But Baker's Dozen is our local coffee shop, donut shop that has all sorts of really good smoothies. So the strawberry smoothies are pretty unbeatable. Now let's talk about, we're almost done here. But I want to talk about, the next step. So you just went to some school visits. Talk to me about what you guys are thinking about for secondary school.
For secondary school, I think it all comes down to like a community where you feel belonged. Like the moment you walk on a campus, like as you said, I've already went to some schools. Like you can feel it. Like as you go on your tour, you can see like, are students happy here? You can like feel it in your gut. Like, is this where I want to be? Is this where I fit in? So I think asking yourself those questions and answering them like honestly, like that's it. Like to know like if it's for you and if it has what you need. Like does it have the sport you play? Like all that stuff definitely come into play with picking a school.
Awesome. And then how about you, Karla?
So, unlike Zoe, I have not done my school visits yet. But it's like been like stressful, but it's also been like fun because during the process, I feel like you really get to know yourself and like think about what you really want for your future. So that's been a fun like process. Also, I feel like Rectory does like a really good job of like reassuring yourself, and like we always have like the faculty to remind you, ask how it was, like where are you in your process. So it's like a process that even though it could be hard, people are always like reassuring you and like making sure that like you're good.
Yeah. And then, what are you going to take away from Rectory with you for the rest of your life? What do you think is something that's going to stick with you? Not just at secondary school, but who you are as a person, what kind of life we want to lead.
I think I'll definitely take with me the deep relationships I've formed here. We've shared laughter, tears, and everything on Centennial already, and it's only fall term. So that's definitely for sure. Like all the relationships I've built, the things I've learned. I just think that so much has come into play going to boarding school and being away from home. So.
Yeah. What about you, Karla?
Yeah, so definitely the relationships, and like something other than that is like being more organized, honestly. Like the schedule makes you be like such a like better person, and like up to waking up in the morning and making your bed, like all those like little reminders are things that like create structure, and like it's something that I'm gonna stick with for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing that. I think that was a really cool conversation to have, and sometimes these settings force you to talk about them so you can even appreciate them more. So thank you guys very much. So the next portion is going to be a Rectory trivia, okay? So we have 2 more portions left. The last one is a surprise, and I'm hoping you guys are up for it. But I have a couple questions here, and it's just going to be the first to answer. So the first to get 2 right is the winner, all right? So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm locked.
All right. Who was the dining hall just dedicated to this?
I have it. George Groom.
You got it. That's it. Great job. So we're gonna use the buzzer as a table as Zoe has deemed herself. So that's great. I like that. All right. How is Mr. Woodard most commonly referred to?
Profe Woodard.
Bingo. All right. And this one is a hard one. So this is the tiebreaker. You guys walk past this every single day on your way from Centennial to the dining hall, and I wonder if you know what the name of it is. But DGB is the name of a boys' dorm on campus. What is the former headmistress it is named after?
Doris Bigelow.
Great job, Zoe. Congratulations. I'm impressed. I did not think you were going to get that one. Good for you. So you pay attention to the little things then. That's great. All right. So the last one. So as you guys may or may not know, this is the Howl podcast. It's the Rectory School Wolves. So I'm going to close out every single podcast with the best howl you guys can give me. Do you think we can do it?
Yeah.
We'll do it together. So so one of you can start the howl, and then like the wolves, right? One person howls, then everyone else howls. So one of you can howl, and then the other two, whoever is the second and third, will howl next. Okay? And who cares if people are getting ready for school? They're gonna be like, "What the heck is going on?" Everyone's screaming over there. Who cares? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So on 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. Thank you for that this
Thank
morning.
you so much for having us.
Thank you.
you.
All right, have a great day, girls, and we'll see you later. If you want to find out more about Rectory School, call the admissions office at 860-928-1328, or you can reach us at admissions@rectoryschool.org. Thanks for listening.